Hey guys, Level-Cap here. Today we're going to talk about Star Wars Battlefront Endgame. What happens when you start hitting those higher ranks, 30 plus, 40 plus, and you start running out of things to unlock or maybe accomplish in this game. It's something that I think a lot of players are at right now, and it's an interesting topic because this is one of those games that was marked as being too casual when it came out. Well, how is that holding up in the long run? What happens when you exhaust the things to do in this game? First, let's talk about the different things you can do late game. After you've unlocked all your star cards and you've kind of gotten all the weapons that you want, it doesn't really take that long. I think I had most of everything I needed at around rank 20. Now that I'm rank, I think 43 right now. I'm not 50 yet. I know there's a lot of people that are 50, but it's mostly just a grind and it's all cosmetic upgrades from this point out. Now, that being said, I haven't completely upgraded all of my star cards. I've upgraded the ones that I like and the ones that I use most frequently, but there's still a few left to go. Still, I've been working mostly towards cosmetic upgrades. There's a lot of different heads that you can get for the Rebel Alliance, and there's 2 cosmetic upgrades for the Empire other than helmetless stormtroopers. Maybe there'll be more down the line. Last weekend was a double XP and double credit weekend, and I played quite a few hours on there just to help get some extra XP and credits to unlock some of those cosmetic upgrades. But like I said, I've already got all the weapons, all the star cards, everything that I need at this point strategically, so I'm not really going to get any sort of tactical benefits at this point in the game. It's only cosmetic benefits. Now, of course, there's the collectibles as well, where if you get some high-level achievements, you can unlock some cool collectible figures or models in your collectible section, which are really nice high-resolution models that you can look at. But other than that, they don't really serve much purpose in the video game. You can't show them off to other players that you know. You can't show them off on your character when you're running around in battle. One of my favorite things about cosmetic upgrades in any shooter is when they're visible to both your opponent and your teammates, so they can see them on you. They can know what achievements you've gone through or how much combat or how much you've played the game in order to get those cool cosmetic upgrades. And unfortunately, collectibles don't really carry over in that way. So really, the only way to differentiate your character or show off what rank you are or how hard you've worked in this game cosmetically is through your character skins. And like I said before, the Empire really only has 2 impressive character skins. There's the Scout Trooper and then there's the Shadow Trooper, and you don't really have any other way to differentiate yourself. So when people hit rank 50, you're gonna see a whole bunch of black Shadow Troopers running around, and I've seen like 4 or 5 together before, and it really kind of sucks that there isn't any other interesting markings, ways to differentiate yourself. And I did mention in videos before how, like, you know, the clone troopers have tons and tons of different markings that show off what rank or what battalion they're from, and unfortunately they just haven't really added that kind of stuff for stormtroopers. The rebels get a little bit more variety. There's at least a bunch of different alien characters you can pick from, ones that I personally think are pretty cool to run with, so it's nice on that front, but it's still extremely limited compared to all of the other big first-person shooters out there that have tens if not hundreds of different ways to differentiate yourself visually from your teammates or your opponents. Now, how's the player population holding up? Early game, it was pretty easy to forgive this game for having a little bit of a lack of content because the content was still pretty fresh at that point. Well, I've put quite a few hours into Star Wars Battlefront now. I've played all of the 4 maps, well, technically 5 maps now, many times over. I know them all very well. I've had everything, all the weapons, all the star cards unlocked for what feels like ages now. There's been no new unlocks for me. So I really feel like I've explored and I've accomplished everything there is to accomplish in this game. There isn't like a lot of vehicle skill to be mastered. There isn't a lot of different types of weapon skills to be mastered. It's all relatively the same, so I don't feel like I can push my skill level in this game that much more by playing it more. So from a competitive player's perspective, I feel like I've plateaued a bit with my skill, and that for me makes me lose interest a bit. You know, I'm always looking for a challenge. I'm always looking for players who are better than me, have cool skills, cool techniques that I haven't used before, and I want to learn from them and improve upon my own skills. But I really feel like because of the simplicity now, I have actually plateaued with my skill level. I've tried out every kind of combination and every kind of loadout that there is to use, mastered them, and I'm good to go. I know what to do. there isn't much left for me personally to do. And I think it shows in the player statistics for PC especially. The PC player numbers have been dropping off quite substantially. It now has less players than Battlefield 4 does, a game that's over 2 years old now. Granted, Battlefield 4 is a very, very successful game, and it stayed strong throughout its lifespan. I mean, it doesn't have as many players as it used to, but it's still pretty strong with a very core player base. The console numbers, on the other hand, are much stronger with Star Wars Battlefront. Next gen console is doing absolutely awesomely with Star Wars Battlefront, which is good news. It's just unfortunate that it's not doing as strongly on PC. It's not to say that it's dying off by any means, but the numbers are not great, and it can be tricky now to find servers or find games that you want to play, especially with the lack of the server browser. That is starting to take a massive toll on the PC population. In fact, it might actually be part of the reason why the PC numbers are dwindling. I wouldn't be surprised, because I got fed up and stopped playing the game multiple times when I was searching for a game and it kept turning up with empty servers. I just wanted to play a few game modes. I wanted to play on a few specific maps, and I couldn't find them. You can just pretty much have to search for the game mode and take whatever map that it gives you, regardless of how many times you've played that map recently. So that is a major downside to the PC side right now. If I want to play Walker Assault on Hoth, it could be very hard or take a long time for me to actually find that game now, because I just have to join a random Walker Assault server, and I can no longer be specific about what map type I want, because there just aren't enough players right now. I think there might also be a problem with the matchmaking algorithm, because it's definitely hard to jump into servers from time to time, but I think this game is going to need a server browser, at least on PC, for it to survive in the long run. And speaking of the long run, we've yet to see an official DLC pack released for this game yet, but as we've seen with previous DICE games, the paid for DLC divides the community, because not everybody gets the paid for DLC, so you have half the player base with the map pack, half the player base without the map pack. On PC, with the dwindling player base, that DLC content is going to be very, very limited in the period of time that you're going to be able to play it. I mean, we're barely a month after launch with this game, and I'm already having trouble finding specific game modes to play. So that DLC, the longevity of it, seems like it's going to be even shorter, and that's kind of a big problem overall. Now, that being said, I am still really enjoying Star Wars Battlefront, but mostly in short stints. Like, I can sit down and play Rainbow Six Siege for just hours and hours and hours. I'd play it for days if I could, because the gameplay is so engaging and there's so much depth and strategy to it. I constantly feel like I'm learning and constantly getting schooled by players who know different things that I do. But with Star Wars Battlefront, I hop on and I feel like I experience pretty much all kinds of combat, all the types of combat that you're going to experience in one play session within maybe an hour of playing. And then the maps begin to repeat, and then you just kind of do the same thing over again. Now, it is a criticism of the game. Again, I'm enjoying it, but it is a growing concern, especially for the PC base that's losing that player count, of how long this game is actually going to stay playable and stay alive. I hope that DICE follows suit with what they're doing on some of the other Battlefield games and adding a bunch more free content to this game. Another Jakku-style DLC that's free to everyone would be very, very welcome. Maybe a Death Star battle pack or something like that. Anyway, that's my take on it. What do you guys think? If you had to see one new thing added to this game, what would it be? What do you think would keep you engaged longer? Would it be a new map, a new weapon, a new set of character skins? Let me know in the comments below, guys, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.